Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals and today I've got a bit of Terran versus Protoss coming up. It's going to be on Neoplanet S and it is going to be a fun game because Neoplanet S is one of those maps where every game turns out to be a little bit fun. I don't know why, it's just... Okay, when I first saw Neoplanet S I was like, I hate this map, the rotational symmetry, it's so small, taking a third base is horrible, and I just, yeah, kind of cried in the corner a little bit. But then casting more and more games on it, it's just, well, every game just turns out being ridiculously funky and crazy. So I think for that reason it's always good to see. But yeah, let's introduce these two players because I got slightly sidetracked there. In the bottom left position we have got the blue Protoss player. It's HelloKitty. And his opponent spawning in the top right, the red Terran. It's Neeb. So, now we know who's playing, we know their races, we know their positions, we know the map. What can we be expecting? Well, Reaper openings on this map are pretty solid, because about a third of the main base is a cliff. Well, maybe a bit less than a third, maybe a quarter. Maybe 1/5, depends on how you want to do it. Really, I just wanted to say that I can think of fractions other than like a half or a quarter, and show that I'm at least educated to a 10-year-old's level, because that is just how good we are. Actually, is it 10 years old where you start learning fractions? I forget these sort of things, and I guess it depends where you are in the world as well. Like, anyway, that's a good point. That's a good question. But it looks like a Reaper opening could be occurring. There's a gas and there's a barrack, so generally a good sign. Meanwhile, we've got the gateway and gas coming down, double gas for HelloKitty. So this is going to be aggressive tech. It could also just be 2 probes in each, but still, you're teching up relatively quickly if you grab your 2 gas this early on. You're just like, yeah, I need all of the gas right this second because, yeah, DTs, Stargate. Actually, Oracle plays quite nice on this map because you can come in here and just be like, herped up. You can come in here and be like, herped up and kill loads of things, so that's fun to see. DTs, I don't know why I just randomly said DTs, Blink Play can also work quite nicely, so lots of different builds that can go down, something to keep an eye out for. There's also tons of places to hide proxy pylons around on this map too, like, you can stick one here, you can stick one here, and be absolutely fine, so not too much to worry there. Meanwhile, of course, Marine coming out, interestingly it's not going to be a Reaper opening, it's going to just be a quick factory. So, I was wrong, it's terrible of me, but yep, factory openings also good. Of course, Hellions, Hellbats, all very scary. Mines too can be pretty problematic. The Cybercore on its way down. Oh, this probe! Ah, Probe, you did a nice job there. You took no damage. Good work, Probe. Well done. High five. Probes can't really high five because they don't have arms. That's a bit sad for probes. I wonder what they do. They must like head bump. That can be the only thing possible for them. Anyway, Nexus coming down. We've got the Mothership Core on its way too. Factory just finishing up, and things all pretty much going to plan. And ooh, bunker placement up at the top of this ramp to complete the wall off. Interesting choice, especially after Scout being like, yes, you're getting a Nexus. I better get in a more defensive position because that all makes sense. The Mothership Core is there. We got the pylons, just pylons because probes and pylons win you games, ladies and gentlemen. That's the truth. Honestly, unless you're really good at the game, in which case you don't need my advice. Yeah, make probes and pylons, because probes and pylons win. Now, Starport coming down, so 111. 111 is terrifying, every Protoss player knows this, it scares you half to death. But, will HelloKitty be able to defend this? Probably. It depends whether he scouts it out and what he does to do there. This robotic facility is quite nice. In terms of actual scanning information, if we take a look at what HelloKitty's seen, it's this. Nothing. This is the furthest. This is as far as HelloKitty knows about. Is around here. Beyond that, it's all darkness. And yeah, it was sitting there. If this was the Lion King, and they'd be up on this cliff, and they'd be like, "What's that in the darkness?" And they'd be like, "Never go there, HelloKitty. It's dangerous." And that was the worst impression of the Lion King you will ever hear on all of YouTube. And that's really saying something, because I'm sure, I've never actually checked, but I'm sure there's lots of terribly bad impressions of the Lion King on YouTube, which is okay. I'm probably gonna check this out later because it's the sort of thing which you want to find out and just know, so you can reference in the future. I'm sure there'll be some good laughs there. But yeah, bunker coming down. This is just, well, the command center should be following it here, so this is fine. We've got the additional we've got 111. We've got the command center following it up, but it's this load up. That's what's going to be scary. Ooh, okay, the Hellion wasn't picked up there. The Widow Mine is going to be taken, so that is pretty fun. We've got probes here, but look at this. This is the important thing, and I'm boxing it like a madman because I've been playing quite a bit recently, so I'm still in like boxing mood of just like playing super hyperactively quick. And when I come to obs, I've got to slow down and like take deep breaths, Madals. be relaxed. So, these units gonna really shut down this medevac. That's good times. The observer is on its way through. The Hellions going to try and push into the front. They could actually do a little bit of damage because currently all of HelloKitty's units are up here. But in comes the boost medevac, and the boost medevac says no. Coming down to the natural base, this is where things could be a little bit problematic. Do manage to unload. There is the Widow Mine there. That's a right pain because now this means the Sentry, the Stalker, could get taken out very quickly. But there we go. Pulling back, just out of photon overcharge range. The Hellions now coming into the natural base. They're going to start racking up some kills here. That is exactly what you want to be doing, is getting these probe kills. It is incredibly frustrating. Already we've got 6 workers down. And yeah, if we check here, the medevac is going to be coming down to join this. Are any units going to get dropped down? Not at the moment, interestingly, just staying up in there. Now it all comes down. The mothership core is going to get focused, and that is what you want to be getting taken down. Because if Kitty loses that, he's going to be in some problems here. Because that's a very expensive unit. He's already taken a lot of damage. The mothership core will go down. This is looking really good for Neeb at the moment, but he will be forced to get back out of there. The medevac was picked off, so in terms of losses, yes, Kitty's lost more, but all of that push was cleaned up. 14 workers got taken down. That's the fact that is not going to be too nice for any Protoss players, because there's now 29 SCVs to 27 probes, plus 2 mules equals bad times. But if he starts chrono boosting like a boss, then he can get back into this. He's got these gateways down. He's also got Blink half finished. So, yeah, Blink Stalker play is always going to be good, especially with this Observer here. Blink is not done yet, though. Still only, well, about another, just over an in-game minute left to complete that. There's some more orders already here, too. We've got the Combat Shield and Stim both getting researched. So, by the time this push actually hits, I'm not sure how effective it's going to be for HelloKitty, because he's not got that much out on the field, and there's a lot out at the moment for Neeb. But, having said that, this factory will get taken out. That's going to be a bit of a pain. You want to try and keep that factory up to scout and whatnot. The proxy pylon, I believe, was... No, it wasn't spotted there. Not quite. So, that's a bit of a pain. But now, all the infantry coming forward. Got to be careful there, Neeb. You do want to overextend. But likewise, Kitty, you don't want to get caught out of position with that much infantry there. Blink is now just finished up. +1 has also started here for Neeb, who is just taking his 4th gas geyser at the moment. He's just pushing a little bit forward. The first medevac's also coming down on the field. That's when the infantry starts getting a lot more strong. This proxy pylon really important, but the observer placement, it's good, gets a good little read on these units and where they are, but the blink up has got to do a lot. So yeah, are we going to see HelloKitty really commit to this? Maybe. He is running off of 4 gases, getting these additional gateways down to, that's going to take him up to 5 gates. Is he going to go for it? Is he just going to try and come in the front? It looks like the front is going to be of choice. There's no medevacs, remember, so the Marauders can get focused down very quickly, but the Marines with Stim, once it gets research, is going to be really problematic. But there's 20 seconds without Stim. The medevac! Oh, one gets sniped off very quickly, the other one quite low. The factory will get taken out. Blink has now been revealed. And with the observers here, you can blink up onto the high ground, but the trouble with doing that is it's quite difficult to get back out again. There's no easy escape path for blink stalkers on this map. One single sentry coming in. Is he going to go for the money force field to try and stop the repair? Maybe he will. We've got a couple of blink stalkers pulling back. The bunker getting focused, but there goes Stim, and that is what Kitty needs to get away from. The sentry is unfortunately going to die. Poor sentry didn't even get to place a single force field. More warpins are coming down here for HelloKitty. Neeb has about to get +1 infantry weapons kicking in. He's pushing forward for it, but good blink micro coming down from Kitty. He needs to keep this up though. He needs to trade effectively. Neeb is just like, oh, this is not what I meant to do. I don't know why I did this. And that, well, at least he noticed. Like, I like the way that he acknowledged the fact that he did it, like, while he was still engaged. Like, oh, I've probably lost the game now. That was a mistake. And the Marauders are all going to die. All of this infantry is going to die. Everything's going to die. And that's a bit unfortunate, but these blink stalkers are just going to tear everything apart. But there's the GG. And see what I mean? That game was really entertaining. It may not have had anything to do with the strategies or things like that, but just the chat from Neeb was brilliant. Just like, oh, my army's about to die. Oh, I don't know why I did that. And we've all had that moment, haven't we? In game, where you might not type it out, but you've sat there and you've done something, and you've realised that you were actually in an okay spot, and then you're just like, oh, that's just lost me the game. I shouldn't have done that. And you feel really sad. So, shout out to Neeb for at least admitting to it in the moment. But, yeah, if you enjoyed that game as much as I did, make sure you like the video, leave a cool comment, and, of course, subscribe. I get new games up daily, so I'll catch you all tomorrow for yet another new cast. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.